Morning, everybody. Another gorgeous day in week 3 of the corona lockdown in the UK. Today, my advice is aimed at candidates who are looking for jobs. Now is a really great time to reflect on whether you're in the right role. Perhaps you've been laid off. Perhaps you're panicking about how to find a job in this current climate. Perhaps you've been furloughed and it's given you some time to think with some clarity. Perhaps you were just unhappy in your role before COVID-19 really hit the UK. If that sounds like you, then now is a really, really good time to perfect your CV. Most of my advice today is common sense, but you'd be surprised at the shockers that I see when people submit their CVs. Some of this is going to sound really obvious and really harsh, but remember, recruiters see hundreds of CVs a week, sometimes a day. We know what works and we know what doesn't. Remember, your CV needs to tell the reader, whether that's the agency or the employer direct, a story. It needs to be easy to read and it needs to follow and be logical. It's a sales document designed to get you an interview. I always describe it as like looking through a shop window, with your CV being the window. The reader wants to invite you through the door for a further chat or interview, but if the window display doesn't appeal, then you won't get that far. And it really is that simple. So let's start at the beginning. You'd be surprised at the amount of CVs that I see that don't have the basics on. And by that, I mean your name, your contact details, ideally mobile and email, and also home phone just in case. If you don't put those on, how are we supposed to get hold of you? Make sure if you do upload your CV to the job boards, that it is actually your CV that you're uploading and not your utility bill or a benefits application form like I've seen fairly recently. Remember, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. The CV has to capture the reader's attention in the first couple of seconds. It needs to be relevant to the job you're applying for. Again, I see way too many CVs for a specific job role, and I wonder if the candidate's even read the job and there's nothing on the CV to indicate that they have got the relevant skills. Remember as well that your CV needs to align to your digital footprint. We do check. We check that the dates, etc., line up with LinkedIn. We check your Facebook and Twitter profiles. Think about it. Would you want a potential employer to look at your social media before hiring you? If you don't, make sure your settings are really locked down. You might want to have a couple of CVs that you can tailor slightly to different jobs. I would say no more than 2 to 3 pages long. Too often I see CVs of up to 8 pages or more. I don't bother to read them. I just don't have the time. They just go delete. And I know that's really harsh, but it's honest. An ideal template would go like this: your contact details, a summary profile of your skills, education, your employment. Start with your most recent role. I don't want to have to scroll to the bottom of page 3 to find the role that you're in currently. Cover gaps. Remember, you're telling me a story. Don't let me second guess or make assumptions because normally they're wrong. If you've travelled, put it on there. If you've temped or done voluntary work, put it on there. If you're out of work, then tell me. Be honest and put the dates on. And when I say dates, for work and any gaps, I mean month and year. There's no good putting January, it's no good putting 2017 to 2018. You know, being really cynical with 30 years industry experience, I'd probably look at that and go, we started there in the December and left in the January, did 4 weeks, so what? It's probably not the case, but you need to tell me the story. Hobbies and interests. I want to know what makes you tick outside of work. And reference details for future, and that can really just say, reference details to follow. Keep the font and the style of the CV professional. Now is not the time for you to show off your use of colour and funny fonts. Check the spelling, check the grammar. It is really, really easy to do using Word. It's not difficult. The amount of CVs that I see with basic errors in again, but do check it. Reed have got some really, really great CV templates online for various different people. So graduates, school leavers, career change, redundancy, part-time career break, that kind of thing. If any of you want a link to those CV templates, then please just drop me an email at helen@aspirejobs.co.uk. Remember, a lot of advice around CVs is going to be very subjective and you'll get many, many different views on it. These are just mine As I say, I've got 30 years recruitment industry experience. I know what works both for me and also for my clients and what those clients look for. So if you want CV templates, if you want me to review your CV, if you're not sure where to start, I don't write CVs, I don't have the time, but I can give you tips. So just get in contact, Helen at aspirejobs.co.uk. Thank you.